Welcome to another 30-minute marketing hacks training. My name is Bob Clark. Come to you every Thursday at 7:30 p.m. Eastern time to bring you people like Jane
I answer both.
Campbell. Jane Campbell is in the house. Welcome, Jane. Thank you for coming on tonight.
Well, thank you, Bob. I appreciate the invite.
Yeah, and guys, today we're going to talk about something that a little bit outside the box thinking when it comes to building an email list. You guys know, if you've been on these trains at all, I've been pounding the drum routinely about building that email list, right? And most of us, including me, think the traditional ways. You put a lead magnet out there, something of value, and you get their email and you follow up. That's the traditional way, if you will, of building an email list. It's what I do. But Jane is doing something a little bit different to build her list. And I wanted to bring her out today and talk about it because it is a little bit outside the box. So, Jane, before we start talking about it, I know you probably know a lot of these people, but even we'll have a lot of people watching the recording as well. So give us a little like Reader's Digest version of you, especially about how you started your business, what you're doing, that kind of thing.
Gosh, I've had so many different things that I have done in my journey, my online journey. I actually started out as a concierge in 2010, hit, and everything fell apart. So then I've had to pivot along the way. And on the journey, and looking back, it was like I was learning and I was experiencing and I was picking up all these nuggets and information, but I wasn't actually like using it and applying it. I was just gathering and gathering. And then I don't know, I guess something just clicked where it's you got to do something. Like this isn't you can't just continue to learn all the time. I've been involved in a couple of different multi-level marketing companies. Some have been successful, some have not. And one gal invited me, Kim, invited me to this one company that she's with. And she said, listen, I want you to like get going and really get things moving. So I'm looking for 3 people that would be willing to volunteer to really grow your list and I'll help to mentor. And I'm like, you know what? That's Kim freaking Ward. Why would I not?
Mhm.
I was like, I'll do it, having no idea what I was getting into. And the next thing she's okay, we're going to get together on, it was actually a Friday. I was at the beach with some girlfriends from college and she just started, this is what we're going to do and this is what's going to happen. And honestly, I just looked at her like, what in the world did I just get myself into? But then it's just developed and it's worked and it's working and it's fun. So that's my journey along the way.
Yeah, cool. And we'll talk about what that specific thing is in a minute. But something that you and I were talking about before we came on live is, that opportunity with Kim came up and you grabbed it and you said, yes, I want that. I want to be part of that. But a lot of people don't. A lot of people think they're not ready for it, right? They shrink away from it because they don't feel worthy or it's not the right time or whatever it is. But you didn't, you grabbed it. Did anything change in you, in your mindset from before versus now where you were just like, okay, I'm doing this?
I think before I thought, oh, I can do this on my own. It's good enough. I can get it. I'll muddle through. And then I realized that it's like you need some help. So go on, take the help. You're gonna fall. You're gonna mess up. It's gonna be okay. And put your big girl panties on and go and just go for it. And that's kind of the approach that I took.
Good. Yeah. Okay, so for you guys who don't know, Jane is using the outside the box strategy of doing virtual summits, organizing virtual summits to grow her email list. And I'll tell you, it's one of the fastest ways that I've seen to grow your email list, especially if you either don't have a lot going on yet or you don't feel worthy yet. I'm not saying that's you, Jane, but I'm just saying in general, I think if you don't feel like you're well known, if you're not well known, if people don't jump on your list automatically just because you have something. This, I think, is a brilliant way. I know quite a few people, no, I know a handful of people who are doing this strategy and they're growing their email list like crazy. And I thought when I saw you doing this, I'm like, I gotta pick Jane's mind here and see what's going on because I was surprised because I didn't know you were into that at all. I had no idea.
I didn't either. I was
Right.
surprised as well. But that
Right.
was the other
So,
thing. It was to grow that list. So it's like, why would you not?
right,
Why would I not?
right.
That made sense.
Sharon, I see your question. Can you circle back toward the end and post that again? Because I don't want to miss it. I do want to answer it, but it just doesn't fit right here. So if you'll wait to the end and ask that question, we'll do it. Okay, so what does it mean? Describe the process. Like, how do you go about even starting this kind of thing?
So
First of
a
all,
funny
maybe
story.
what you can do is define what it is, first of all, and then talk about how you get started.
So the way that I am setting up my summit is I am bringing speakers to me. So I don't have to be the expert. So I'm bringing speakers. I came up with a topic. I know who my niche is. And then it's like bringing the speakers that I thought that my audience would be interested in hearing from. So it's bringing those that have the knowledge, have the experience, have the list. And so when all of these different speakers are coming together and they're all bringing their list and everybody is contributing and people are popping in, then at the end of it all, after everybody has spoken, then the list goes out to all the different speakers. So it's a win for everybody.
Okay, and so what is your topic again?
It's wealth without walls, creating income beyond the cubicle.
Okay, so digital marketing, online marketing to the crowd who's still in a job. Is that correct?
They're still in a job, or maybe they're like, we have a job and we want to pivot to something else. We just don't know what it is. And I don't know about you, but I feel like there's a lot of people that are out there that they give a lot of fluff. And I'm like, I want to bring reputable people, honest people that I know, I trust, bring them into this arena. So now we have a group of people for the audience so they can come in one stop and hear the recordings from all the different speakers, with you, of course, being one.
I'm happy to do that. So you picked your title based on your audience because you knew your audience. And again, guys, that's always important, right? Know your audience as well as you can. Know who your tribe is. So Jane knew that. She picked her title. All right. Next part is okay. How do you go about bringing people in to speak? How does that work? Did you make a big
Honestly,
long list? Is that what you do? Or what did you?
I figured out. So I knew that honestly, what I did is I went to Chat GPT and I said, what are different businesses that people can do online? And it was like drop shipping, course creation, podcasting, blogging. It's a bunch of different topics. And so then I'm like, who do I know? And luckily I have people that are like, oh, go here, talk to this person, talk to this person. And some people I'm like, I need to, this is a true story. So there's three of us that are doing it. We were at like week 2 or 3, and they were already getting their speakers and they were doing this. And I'm like lagging behind. And I'm like, you know what? No, I'm done. So I'm like, I've had it. And I went for it and I just started reaching out to people I didn't know. And they said yes. I'm like, what? They
Yeah.
said yes, which
Right.
that was really cool. And
Yeah.
then, can I share a story about you?
Sure.
So I reached out to you and you said yes. And that feeling when like your very first sale you've ever made online and you're like, been dancing and all. So I'm like, woo! And then I started crying. Literally, I started crying. I'm like, Bob Clark just said that yes, he would speak on one of my summits. And it was like, that was just a total game changer. I know it sounds crazy, but it's like, it made me, I'm going to get emotional now. It made me feel that, yeah, I'm worthy. There's, yeah, I can do this. And if
Mhm.
I can do it, anybody can do it.
So yeah, so that's cool. That's and I'm humbled by that, of course. But let's turn it around from my standpoint. Why would I say yes to Jane? And we had this discussion, right? First of all, I like Jane, so I want to help her out, but that's not the main reason I did it. As a marketer, especially guys, if you ever get in a position where you're asked to be on a summit, give a talk, talk to somebody else's audience, always do it because you're getting now I'm getting in front of Jane's people. I'm getting in front of everybody else who's doing this virtual summit. I'm getting in front of all these people. So guess what? I'm going to build my email list too. Because Jane has that in place where I'll also be able to build my list. So from a standpoint of a potential speaker, never shy away from it, guys. If you're ever asked, always say yes, unless it's something that's totally not in your wheelhouse at all. But if it's at all related, get in there, push past the uncertainty and do it, because it's a really good way to build your list. And it's very cool. All
And
right.
they're
So,
really kind of fun.
so what got you over, or did you have fear of inviting people? And if so, what got you past it?
I think the thing that got me past it is seeing that the other two girls were already so much far ahead. And I'm like, further ahead. And I'm like, no, I'm not. I knew I wasn't going to quit. I'm like, I will not quit because I am not a quitter.
Yeah.
And when I saw that, it was like, do it. Just, I don't know. It was like, find somebody, do the research, pick up the phone. Or you don't have to pick up the phone. I found several people on LinkedIn and it's, hey, I don't know if you're interested. And it's, yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Like,
It's
what?
almost
You
like,
don't know.
what do I have to lose, right?
Yeah, they don't know me from Adam. And other people I did reach out to, and they're like, no, we don't do that anymore.
Yeah.
Fine.
Yeah.
But everybody, the thing that was great is everybody was extremely polite and kind through the whole thing, which made it easy.
Yeah. You have the link for your challenge handy? Maybe post it
Do.
in the chat for everybody, so everybody can go and check that out if they want to join it. So Karina asked too, how did you find people for all the categories? So you went to ChatGPT or whatever oh, that just went to me, Jay, so you have to change it to everyone.
Oh, shoot.
Yeah, I don't know why it defaults to hosts and panelists.
All I have is that, and then I have you.
Oh, you can't do it? All right, I'll post it. That's
Mm-mm.
sometimes they've been doing that for some reason. I don't know why.
Sorry.
Panelists, like I was on Mark's as a panelist and it wouldn't let me do it either. So let me post it. There you go, guys. That's the registration link to get onto James Free Challenge. The challenge. I'm saying challenge now. It's a summit. I got challenged on the brand. I'm working on my challenge for all day today. So, okay. So Karina wants to know, how did you find the people? And I think you mentioned you just asked around. Was there any other way that you found people?
No, I just asked around. I searched on LinkedIn. I searched on Facebook,
Like somebody on drop shipping,
Instagram,
right? Did you find somebody for drop shipping, you said? How did you find that
LinkedIn.
person? Did you
On
know that?
LinkedIn. Actually, it was crazy because I found this person on Facebook, but I wasn't real sure. And so then I went to LinkedIn and I'm like, oh, there he is again. I asked him and there we have it.
Do a little snooping around to make sure they're good, right?
Yeah, just check and see.
Okay, cool, cool. All right, so you named it, you invited, you got people on. Then what do you have to do?
Oh, then comes the fun part. With the summit, you need to provide information for the speakers. There's the graphics, creating speaker graphics, creating a template in Canva that you can just pop. No, I take that back. I lied. The next thing you want to do is to create a speaker form, which the speaker will, you ask a whole bunch of different questions. You saw everything that I did. So that's gathering everything about them from headshots to their title to what they want to talk about to questions that you can ask so that it goes smoothly. And then a Calendly link so they can sign up for when they want to do the presentation
You
or the
sent
interview.
that, remember, you sent that with a Google form, right?
Created
Yeah,
that on a Google form.
okay, all right. All right, Deborah
And
has a good tip here. She says there are also Facebook groups of people who want to be speakers at events. So
ooh,
that's
that's
another
good to
option
know.
for finding people. Thanks, Deborah. That's awesome.
Thank you, Deborah. And then comes the creating of all of the graphics.
Right.
So I took it a different way. So I have actually spoken on a summit before, but it was like a record, just an audio summit. And they had everything was branded to that particular summit. I created a bunch of, as you can see, a bunch of very different Facebook posts that can be used along with copy that I put in a Trello board for all the speakers to use if they chose to use it. as well as a link to the summit, and then the branded things to the summit, as
Right.
well as creating 3 emails that if you chose to send them out, you can. Because one of the things, in order for the summit to work, everybody needs to pitch in. So it's, as a speaker, everybody is required to post so many times and to send out an email so many times.
So to answer Rudy's question, she said, so are you interviewing each person? So yours is not a live summit. You do interviews with each speaker, record it, and then what happens to those recordings? How do you do that?
So then what happens is I have all the recordings, and then I will create another email with the recording, introducing the speaker in a separate email. And then on the first day, I'll release 3 recordings in an email
So
with
where
the
are these
freebie that they're
recordings being
giving.
held? Sorry, where are these recordings? I'm trying to just get
The
the
recordings and the recordings are on Zoom. So they're in the Zoom cloud.
Okay, got it. Okay.
And then I'll
So-
take that and pop that in. I haven't done that yet, so I'm
Right.
curious how that's gonna happen.
It should be fine. I've seen people do it before like that. It's fine. Okay, so I'm just thinking in terms of tools for this kind of a thing, what do you need?
Google Drive. You're gonna need a place to host your landing page
Okay,
because you have to create that. I'm setting it up where when someone signs up, I automatically send them a free gift. And then on the back side, I'm sending out a quiz to see where a person will fall and what might be the best fit for them.
so and then you need
That's
Zoom,
just what I have chosen to do. I'm sorry, what?
you need Zoom or
You need-
some way to record interviews.
And I
Okay.
did upgrade for Zoom because I didn't want the 40-second thing to pop up saying, you're almost out of time.
Right. Okay, really in terms of paid tools, there aren't that many to
Mm-mm,
put this together.
no.
Yeah, I know you're not all the way done with this yet. You're
Mhm.
in the process. But what have you learned so far? Do you have any aha moments or something that has come up that you didn't anticipate or mental blocks? What's been happening with you?
So one thing that I would probably recommend if anybody wants to do a summit, if you can find 2 other people that want to do it on separate topics, that's fine. And the reason for that is because the 3 of us that are working together, while we're all doing our own thing, we're all in different places, we get stuck. So instead of necessarily going to Kim, we have our own group that we've created, and we'll go back and forth on, hey, can you look this? She doesn't need to be bothered with that. So it's, can you make sure that this funnel works? Can you check this out? My Thrive card isn't working. Can you pay for this and I'll pay you back? Just so tweaking and helping each other out. We've also had instances where I'm stuck. I can't even think of a headline to write on something. And so it's, does this sound right? And so just having 2 other people that we can get together and bounce ideas off. And it's a quick 5-minute Zoom, boom, you're gone and moving on because you have another set of eyes looking on it. So that for me, I found that to be very helpful.
Also
Like,
accountability, right? Also
excuse me?
accountability because you don't want to be left behind.
Exactly. Also, I think a massive aha moment is like I was saying before, that it's like, I actually am, I'm worthy of all this. It's okay. People are saying, yeah. But I also, instead of it being more of a, can you help me? It was like, you can get more people added to your list if you want to do this. And then, so that's how it was. It's more about them and what they get versus, can you help me out, please?
Yeah, and that's a position of power actually, and that's why I like this strategy a lot is because it is a win, right? You win because you build your email list, you gain confidence, you do all that stuff, and your speakers win because they build their email list and maybe make some sales off of it later down the road. Who knows? That is a win-win. That's why I like this very much. But I wanted to talk to you today because I wanted to show people that it's not as hard as they probably think it is to put this together. Yes, you'll have to do some work. You did the graphics and stuff by yourself, right? But if you wanted to, you could have outsourced that, right? You could have
Yes.
got somebody on Fiverr or somebody to do it for you. So that really shouldn't hold anybody up. You know, me, I would outsource it because I'm terrible with graphics. Or I let my wife do it. I don't know. I'm not an artsy, so I'm not very good at it.
I
Just
don't
give
know
me,
how good they are, but it's they're there. It's good.
yeah.
It'll
And
work.
you know what? It doesn't matter if they're not like cinema quality, right? Who cares? Because it does the job. It gets people interested and they sign up and they do that. Okay, so the way it works, guys, just so and Jane, stop me if I'm wrong, because I think I understand it, but you use your Calendly, so that's another tool, Calendly,
Yes.
and also Aweber or some other kind of email software. So there's some tools involved, but not that many. And you don't even need Calendly if you didn't want to. You could manually set up appointments with people if you wanted to do that. Okay, so but basically you get, like with me, for example, on that form that you gave me to put out my topic and my bio and my headshot and stuff, that was all in the first form that you sent me.
Mhm.
And it was very easy and simple, and it took me maybe 10 minutes to fill it out. There was a link to Jane's calendar, so I went and I picked an early date and probably freaked her out because I didn't
You
want to wait.
did.
I wanted to get it done, and we did it. What was it, Tuesday or Wednesday? We did it, right?
Yeah.
So she does this for everybody in the summit, and she gets all her interviews, and then she'll drip it out starting on the first day of her summit. She'll start dripping out what, one or two a day? Is that what you're gonna do?
So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to have one email that will go out that's going to have three speakers. So it's
Great.
three, three, and three.
Okay, good. And that's perfect because also given your target audience of people who are probably super busy, I think a mistake some people make is, I'm doing a 10-day summit and 5 speakers for each day. No, you don't want that because people will, by the third day, they'll be fried and they'll never catch up.
And then I'm trying to limit everybody to 15 to 20 minutes.
Yeah,
That's it. I don't want this to go
yeah, yeah,
on and on.
yeah. And then so once it's done, do you do anything once it's done, or how does it work at the end?
So then after everything is done, then they will receive another email from me that's going to have a form to say, here's what do you think is the best, a little quiz. What do you think is the best fit for you? And it will hopefully help to answer that for them. And then at that point, they're on my email list. And then
And then
it's
it's
just
easy,
dripping and
right?
conversation. Now, here is something that, in addition to that, is I'm actually stacking the products that I have through the summit. Okay.
What do you mean by that?
So what I mean is when someone signs up, they're like, yeah, I want to do that. So then I take on the thank you page, you're going to get a thank you gift for me. And oh, in order to make sure that you're ready for everything as a business owner, things can be stressful, whatever, you need a good night's sleep. So here's something you can take for a good night's sleep. Here's something you can have for energy. And then if you're doing great with your business and you want to start dreaming about where you want to go on vacation, here's a way that you can go on vacation. So I've got 3 different options that I'm presenting to people. And then in all of my emails that go out, I will have links to all of that. So should anybody click on that and purchase, then I've made money
There
there
you
as
go.
well.
There you go. So way to monetize it. That's awesome. So yes, really, there is no actual event as in a Zoom event like you might be used to. This is we call it a virtual summit. And while it's not really all these people getting in together into one Zoom, which would be overwhelming, Jane is dripping out the recorded conversations with all the speakers 3 at a time via email. So right, there's no actual summit to attend, if you will, which probably works well with her target audience because it's hard to nail people down to a time and to attend live. So that's good. So she understands that. Cool. All right, awesome. Sharon, can you post your question again? Because we're on the top of the hour here, and I wanted to answer your question because it was a good one, but I just can't remember exactly how you put it. So if you are still here, if you would just post that again, that would be awesome. But Jane, thank you so much for jumping in
Thank
here today and
you.
giving us the nitty gritty, and we can't wait to bring you back and hear how it went. And you probably have some more aha moments as you go through the whole process. And
Getting a couple bald spots here and there.
well, can't beat me, but okay, Sharon. So Sharon's question is, can you tell me how to clear out my email dead weight addresses? So I'm assuming you mean, you're talking about people who never open emails, never engage? Is that who you're talking about? Or are you talking about, okay, all right. So here's what I do. I just tell you what I do. every 3 months, I cull my list. I go through my list, and this is all done automatically through ActiveCampaign, but you can also do it in Aweber. It's the same thing. Where basically they'll tell you, here's the number, here are the people who haven't opened your emails in the last 3 months, and you can do it 6 months, whatever you want to do. I do 3 months. Then you have the option there to unsubscribe them. I don't delete them. I like to unsubscribe them because unsubscribes don't count toward your subscribers. Usually these email services charge you based on numbers of active subscribers. So I don't like to unsubscribe. I don't like to delete them because I still want to, just in case I ever want to send them something or do something with those people. I don't like to throw stuff away in my house either. So maybe that's why. But that's what I do. Every 3 months, I do that activity with my main list, and sometimes do it with the other list as well. What does that do? That will increase your deliverability because the more like the higher percentage of people that open your emails, the more the email services like that, and they're more likely to deliver your email at a higher rate. So it's also mental. If you have an open rate of 20% and then you get rid of the people in 3 months who haven't opened it, and now you have 28%, you feel better. It feels good to have a higher open rate. That's another thing. Now, if you want to be tricky about it, you can send those people, you can segment that audience who haven't opened. You can send them an email, a last chance email, and say, hey, I'm about to get rid of people, to delete people from my list who haven't opened, and you're one of them. Right? And you have to put some of a curiosity enticing subject heading just to get them to open. So if they do open it, congratulations, you're not going to get deleted. This is why you didn't open it, but now you did, so we're good. You can try to save some people that way. I don't personally do that because to me, if they're not interested, they're not interested, and I don't bother with that. But I do know some people who do kind of rescue emails to those people. All right. Sharon says I can ask the email provider for those instructions. Who is your email provider, Sharon? Is it Aweber? Let's see. So that's this thing is delayed. And I know that Aweber has instructions. So I just moved from GetResponse to Aweber. Aweber definitely has the ability to do that. You can either write to support or just search in their university. There's very good instructions for that, to do that. So yeah, I would definitely, you don't want people on there who don't want to be on there. It's costing you money. It's just not worth it. If you have, that's an older list, you might want to try to send out a couple emails from Aweber just to see who opens it, and then run that. Let me just say, so you just moved it. So I don't know that Aweber will have the history on it yet to make that kind of, in fact, they won't, because they based it on open rates from emails that go through their service. So you'll have to try to send emails, just run it for about 3 months. Just send emails out as often as you like to. And then in 3 months, run the thing and say, okay, who has not opened my email yet? Oh, so I'm confused. Is it still in GetResponse?
Moved it from GetResponse.
All right, so then ask GetResponse how to do that. And I'm sure I know they have an option to do it. Every email service has an option to do it. I don't know that specific one, but if you just write to support or go through their training and see, like it's called, people call it different things, list cleanup. I don't know. It's called different things from different places, but I would just write to support. That's the easiest way, and ask them, how do I clean up my list for the last 3 months people who haven't opened it, and they should be able to help you with that. And then, yeah, once you do that, then bring them on over to Aweber, and you'll have a cleaner list. That's a good plan, like that. All right, cool. Jay, we're good. We're all finished. Any final comments to these guys before we jump off?
Y'all just need to do it. It's worth it. Again, you don't have to be the expert on what it is you're doing. And
Yeah.
just go out and do it. And the worst thing that happens is you make a mistake, you learn from it, and then you do it again. And
Right.
it just building and getting better. Just do it. It's just
Build that email list, guys. Don't delay on this. I promise you, you'll be happy that you started.
Yeah, you will.
We're good. All right, Jane, thank you so much for jumping
All
on.
right.
And
Thank you,
guys,
Bob.
I will see you next Thursday, guys. Have an awesome weekend, and we'll see you next time. Take care. Bye, Jay.
Bye.